In today's video, we're taking a look at a brand new set of rods from the guys over at JRC. Help me bank this angry little comment, so let's get him back. He's definitely had enough, and then I'll run you through all the details you need to. Let's get into it. So as that little guy is slipped back, I thought now is as good a time as any to tell you all about the JRC Rova Rods that I'm using in today's session. Now, as the name suggests, these are all about having a good sort of all-round complete style fishing rod, but in an extremely compact and portable package. Now, as you may have already guessed, and you may already be able to see, these have a retractable butt section, and the 10-foot versions collapse down just to 50 inches. The 9-foots come in even smaller at 44 inches. So if size is of a premium to you, whether it's in transportation or during storage, then these are something you should be taking a look at. Now, they are available in a couple of different test curves and sizes, as I have already mentioned. So there are 9 and 10 foot versions available, and they're available in 3 and 3¼ pound test curves. So obviously that's 2 test curves per length of rod. And as I say, when you compare them to a conventional 12-foot carp fishing rod, the pat down size is really quite different. It does make a massive difference to the size of your setup. Now, obviously the 3-pound versions are more of a player's rod, someone who wants to enjoy the fight with even the smallest of carp, whether it be a single or double figure carp. They'll handle them perfectly, even larger carp as well, but they are there to have a good time and just to be fun with. Now, the 3¼ now, although it is only a 0.25 pound step up in test curve, the backbone difference throughout the rod is actually quite significant, and they enable you to cast bigger leads at bigger distances, and they're designed for playing bigger fish. So if you're fishing lakes that, you know, hold good 30 and 40 pounders, maybe go for the 3¼ but if you're fishing for singles and doubles on a regular basis and you just like them smash it up sessions where you catch loads of fish, then the 3-pound ones are going to be very suitable. Now, when it comes to fixtures and fittings, I can assure you that no corners have been cut by the guys at JRC. Let's start from the base of the rod, and you've got a nice laser engraved aluminium black butt cap, which it just adds to that sort of whole nice and sleek design of the carp fishing rod, and that is what a lot of people are going for these days. They like their setup to be sort of black and stealthed out, but these are not black and stealthed out because a firm favourite of mine is, as you can see here, a premium cork handle. I find cork handles offer an extremely nice balance between grip, durability and comfort. Obviously, when you're playing a fish or when you're casting the rod out, you want it to feel comfortable. You want it to feel almost like an extension of your arm, and I feel like cork goes an extremely long way to doing that. Obviously, this is new and quite bright, but once cork handled rods get a little bit older and they've had a bit of use, I find the cork darkens off nicely, and for want of a better word, I feel like it makes them look a little bit carpy. You've also got a nice premium reel seat. Now, these are manufactured by a company called 𝗲𝗏𝗏. Now, 𝗲𝗏𝗏 have been making fittings for rods for years and years now, and they are a very high quality fitting. They're not going to let you down. This reel seat can house pretty much any reel on the market. However, they do pair extremely nicely with these XTX 6000s. A very smooth reel, and the red detailing on it does go very nicely with the red detailing on these Rova rods, which we're going to move on to next. As I mentioned a moment ago, quite often these days people want rods that look sort of sleek and understated, so no garish branding from the guys over at JRC. It's all kept very minimal, and well, I think they certainly look the part. You've got a small piece of 1K carbon weave, which then leads up to the rest of the blank, but we're going to get onto the blank in just a moment. Above that JRC branding, you'll see a very handy line clip. Now, obviously that's designed not to damage line. What it does enable you to do is change that angle of line when you're setting your bobbins, and you can really increase your indication when fishing at range if you use the line clip. It's just something there. If you like using one, great. If you're not a fan of them, then again, it doesn't matter, it's there in case you want it in the future. Moving up from there, you've got the minima guides. Again, these are manufactured by 𝗲𝗏𝗏, so you know no expense has been spared. Now, don't worry, I know I'm saying that all of these components are very high quality and very premium ones, but we're going to get onto the price at the end of this because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. But the guides, they go all the way from 40mm down to a 10 or 12mm tip ring, dependent on the size and test curve of the rod. And they offer a very crisp feeling basically to a blank. Because they're incredibly lightweight, they enable the blank to act naturally. And that's what you want from a fishing rod. At the end of the day, when you're casting or when you're playing a fish, as I said, you want this to feel like an extension of your arm, and a lightweight, crisp feeling blank is exactly what is going to help you achieve that. And these guides do that. They also help you to move that rod tip a little bit faster through the air and get you a couple of extra yards on the cast. Now, the blank itself is a slim, high modulus carbon, and it offers a really nice balance between playability and castability of the rod. Now, I know that little fish that I had at the beginning of this session was only a small double, but you feel in total control, and I'm certain that these rods have got more than enough power to control much larger fish in much more difficult situations. So whether you are a beginner angler looking for their first set of carp rods, or whether you are a seasoned angler that is looking for a second set of small water rods, then the JRC Rovers are definitely worth taking a look at. These rods are more than capable of fishing for larger fish. Often 9 and 10 foot rods are looked at as being a little bit gimmicky and a bit toy, but that is not the case. They are proper carp fishing rods now. They have the proper technology and the proper design have gone into them to make sure that they are suitable for almost anything that you could throw at them. Now, it's all very well me telling you about the fixtures and fittings and the tech specs behind it all, but realistically, all you want to know is how they feel. So when it comes to casting, I would say these are perfectly suited to anyone that wants to fish at up to 100 yards. As I said, these are the 10 foot 3 1/4, so they do have that little added bit of backbone. So yeah, anything up to 100 yards, something like this, absolutely perfect. When it comes to playing a fish, the rod had an extremely nice progressive curve, and as I said earlier, you don't feel out of control at any moment. So yeah, I really can't complain. And when I tell you the price point of these rods, I don't think that you're going to complain either. All in all, a very nice, lightweight and capable setup, suitable for 99% of anglers 99% of the time. Now, this particular version, the 10 foot 3 1/4, I've seen it for as little as £85 online, and I expect the 9 footers probably come in slightly less. I mean, for 85 quid, in the grand scheme of all things fishing these days, you really don't get a lot, but this rod is a lot of rod for the money. So if you are after a retractable rod, if you do want to save that space and keep your setup nice and lightweight, then seriously, you need to take a look at these. Do pop onto the JRC website, because there's a whole host of information on there, not just about these rods and reels, but all of the other kit that you've seen throughout this video, and it's all fantastic. You can't go wrong with anything from the guys at JRC. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any future uploads. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much.